Good morning and welcome back to Barnstable this morning. It's now 7:55 on this Friday morning, and I'm very pleased to welcome a very special guest. Of course, the Liverpool Legends are coming to Barnstable High School tonight, and we have now live on the phone Louise Harrison, who works with the Liverpool Legends and also is the older sister of former Beatle George Harrison. Louise, good morning and welcome to Barnstable this morning.
Good morning. I'm just loving it here. It's wonderful. Wonderful place.
It's a little snowy for you today, Louise. We've been actually enjoying some nice mild weather, so I get a little bit of a New England winter for you.
That was very kind of you. Did you do that specially?
We did, just as a welcoming for you. So, Louise, again, wonderful to have you on the program. Talk to me a little bit about your involvement with the Liverpool Legends. Tell us about these guys.
Well, after my brother died back in 2001, I was invited to a Beatle weekend in Chicago, and I've been a guest at all kinds of Beatle events over the last 45 or 50 years, and I'm considered as the global mum, or my nickname is the Flying Mum. So I consider Beatle people all over the world as my extended family. Anyway, while I was there was a Beatle band performing, and when the young man who was playing George came on towards the end of the show to sing While My Guitar Gently Weeps, it was only 6 weeks after my brother had died, and I hadn't been mourning for him because I knew that he was really ready to leave this planet. He was ready to get back with his sweet Lord, So, but when I saw this young man singing While My Guitar Gently Weeps, the tears just flowed down my face. I wasn't expecting that at all. And then later when I met this guy, Marty, his name is, I was just struck by his demeanor. He was just really very, very, very sweet, very kind, had the same gentle disposition, very thoughtful and caring. And so we just sort of adopted each other, and he became my new brother. And about a week later, I had the chance to introduce him to Paul McCartney, and they sat and talked about, the music and performing and all of that kind of thing. And there was one little comical thing that happened was, while they were talking about, performing Beatle music, Paul said, he said, even though I wrote most of the songs that I performed, he said, every once in a while I'll forget the words. And so Marty said to him, yeah, he said, that happens to us sometimes. He said, but we just are able to lip read the people in the front row.
Because of course they're singing along and they've got all the words there for them. So
Exactly.
Louise, talk to me about what it was like for you to be the sister of such a famous man, and really a member of a band that continues to be, or was and continues to be so loved by people around the world.
Well, to me it's been kind of a two-edged sword. It's been, in one respect, a very, very great privilege, and a very, very great honor to be connected with something that is so very, very well thought of, and something that has been such a great positive influence throughout the whole world. And then on the other hand, it's been a great responsibility, because I've felt all along that, however I behave, and whenever I'm meeting people who really care deeply about the Beatles, that I don't ever want people to go away saying, oh, gosh, wasn't she a horrible old thing, So, no matter how I feel myself personally at any particular moment, if I'm mixing with my Beatle family, I know I have to be up, and I have to be responsive to them. And that was one of the things that my parents, when the whole thing first started happening, they immediately started answering. They were getting about 1,000 letters every day coming in, and they immediately started answering all the fan letters. And they expressed to me that the fans were very, very important. They said, without the support of the fans, then there wouldn't be any famous Beatles. And so they always took the attitude that, that they had to, the way my mum put it to me was, she said, you have to give back the love. And so that's what I've been trying to do for almost 50 years now.
That's wonderful. And
Yeah.
really, when I think about the Beatles, it's really there's such an enormous amount of love and positive energy that surrounds the band, and I think that's one of the things that's kept them, really so unique and still so well loved even today. And of course,
Yes.
with the Liverpool Legends being a tribute band, I'm sure that it's you take extreme pride and extreme caution in choosing just the right people to represent these wonderful men.
Yes, and too, I've noticed just the little thing that's happening here in town. From all of my experience for the last 48 years with radio stations, they usually at each other's throats, and I'm very, very delighted and impressed to find that there are two different radio stations that are promoting this event, and they're both helping to get the word out and doing something for the community. And, to me, it's really very, very great to see people working together when they're usually very, very competitive. So to me, there again, it's kind of like the Beatle message of love and peace and let's all get along together. And I just found that, when I found that out, that there are two different entities helping with this thing, I thought, well, that's really wonderful. That's great. That's what we need to be seeing in the world, people cooperating with each other. So, my congratulations to you for that.
Well, that's wonderful, Louise, that you see that in our community. Of course, we here on Cape Cod
Yes.
take a great amount of pride in our community and the care and respect we have for each other. So it's very nice
Yes.
to see that recognized.
Yes.
We thank you very much for that. So tell me about this show. If people go to Barnstable High School tonight to see the Liverpool Legends, what can they expect? Do they play a wide variety of Beatles music from their entire catalog? What kind of things do people see in this show?
Well, we go through the entire career of the Beatles, starting out from the very early days, and we have costume changes as well. And, we go through the whole entire story. And we usually, I don't know if we have it with us now, but we usually have a video where I do a narration, which basically gives the whole history of the Beatles throughout the show as we go, as we develop the story throughout the show. There's a narration that goes on telling, what happened at this particular point in their career. So if that's on, that of course, that'll be part of it. But we just basically go through the whole thing, all of the different eras that they experienced themselves. And it's just a very, very happy, wonderful, fun event. And one of the things that I want to invite people to do is, if they're really keen Beatle fans, be sure and get a Harrison hug from me. Because one of the last times that I met with my brother, when he hugged me, he said to me, "Pass it on." So I've been passing his hug on to people, and it's just amazing because I get reports back from people. One lady, he emailed me from Argentina, and she said, somebody had given her a Harrison hug for her birthday, and I had given it to this person in Cleveland in 2002, and she now was given this hug for her birthday back in Argentina. And then another person texted me a few weeks ago and said, I got my Harrison hug in 2005, and I have now given it to people in 17 different countries. So to me, it's wonderful to think that his hug is circling the globe. And so wherever I go, I want to make sure that if people would like to have a Harrison hug to pass along, that we can keep that love, circulating.
That is just amazing, Louise. So from what I understand, once you pass on the Harrison hug, whomever you hug then has the power to pass along that hug and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Yes, I'm going to have
absolutely.
to come down there and get one myself for sure. That's
okay.
Just absolutely wonderful. So Louise...
We went out... I was going to say we went out last night to try to find somewhere where we could find some food, but of course most everywhere is closed. We did finally find one place, but there again, a couple of places that we went into, I was able to give hugs to people. So there are already some people in town that have them that can start passing them around.
That's just absolutely wonderful. I think and what a wonderful way to keep your brother's legacy alive, and really just I think that's just great, and what a wonderful way to keep his memory and to his love really, as you say, circulating the globe. So what do you want people to walk away from when they see the Liverpool Legends show tonight? What is the one thing you'd like them to experience or to take away and to share once they do see this show?
Well, especially the way things are in the world right now. You know, everything's kind of gloomy, and everybody's going through great hardships, and you know, there's so much hatred and all this terrorism and all this kind of stuff. But if we could just have people understand that it doesn't have to be like that. You know, if each of us, as each individual, was to go through life giving out love all the time, and, you know, finding that the more love you give out, the more you're going to get back. And it's up to each one of us to start that. You know, each one of us, if we try to go with a positive attitude towards everything that we do and everyone we meet, then gradually, like the hug, it's something that could spread. You know, one of the things I learned as a child was that if you give somebody a smile, you'll inevitably get a smile back, even if the person, you might be looking very grouchy when you first see them. But a smile usually gets an answering smile. And again, you know, to behave in a positive, friendly, loving way to people, even if you don't know them, you get that response back. And I think more people ought to really try to understand that and try to live by that, because I think the world could be a much, much better place.
Absolutely, and it's just an absolutely wonderful message, and I hope people are listening and take that to heart for sure. Mm-hmm. Well, Louise, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, and I will definitely try and get down there tonight and get the Harrison hug so I can pass it along.
Okay, and I do hope that everybody out there who enjoys Beatle music, or even if they don't enjoy it, come along, and when you've seen our show, you'll be hooked.
Absolutely. Well, Louise, thank you so much, and thank you again for joining us. It was wonderful speaking with you, and we'll see you at the show tonight.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Channel 18. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.